All right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you guys had a wonderful day, and I hope you guys are having a good night so far. We are going to chill out here, and we're going to check out a video here from, this is from Hoop Reports, and this is called The Best Backcourt in NBA History, the story of the Splash Brothers, and it's time to talk about it, because the era is over. So Klay Thompson is now a Dallas Maverick, and I never got to say it, but it always did make me laugh that he took less money to not go play with LeBron and the Lakers, because they actually offered him more than Dallas did, but he was like, nah, I'll go play with Luka and Kyrie instead. And I can't blame him one bit. Not one bit. The Lakers organization is like disgusting right now, and Dallas is on the up and up the way I'm seeing it. So good choice by him. I wish he stayed with Golden State, to tell you the truth. They hooked him up. Like, he played, okay, they gave him a 5-year deal, huge contract, and he only played 2.5 years out of that, and they never gave him shit about it, you know? So I always kind of felt like Klay was gonna return the favor, because that's what I would have done after making like $200 million or so in my NBA career. Like, I would pay it back and be like, all right, you had my back when I was injured. Now I'll take less money and I'll finish my career here. But he chose not to do it. So I don't know if there's something else going on with the organization and him where he's not happy there. But it is what it is. I wanted to see them end their careers together, but what are you going to do? Not even Jordan and Pippen ended their careers together. So, yeah, what can you do? Anyways, everybody, long intro. Sorry, I do that on these After Dark episodes sometimes because it's chill time. I'm going to leave the original video, the link down below in the description, as always. This is Hoop Reports. And so you want to check it out without me, go right ahead. Everybody who wants to hang out with me, please leave a like on this video. It really helps it get out there, and I always appreciate it. And yeah, let's do this.
Throughout NBA history, many legendary backcourts have left a memorable mark on the game. Icons like Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher, Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili,
Joe D and Isaiah
Thomas and Joe Dumars are just a few of those duos whose extraordinary talents have graced the hardwood. Anyone who knows anything about basketball will have heard of these legends, whose legacies are etched into the history of the sport, echoing through time. At the pinnacle of this celebrated list, however, at the summit of NBA backcourts, stand Steph Curry and Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors, famously known as the Splash Brothers.
Yep.
Their journey to greatness is nothing short of miraculous. Underrated and overlooked, they defied expectations through sheer will and determination, becoming the personification of excellence. Their achievements will never be forgotten, and those fortunate enough to have witnessed their greatness will pass down their stories from generation to generation. This is their story.
Yeah, Mark Jackson called it when he was coaching them early on. I mean, he called it back then. He said that this is the best backcourt shooting duo in history. Everyone laughed at him back then.
He has Curry, and the goes to Thompson. Steph Curry for two. That won't go. Rebound right back out. Thompson, a good look. Nails the three.
Great. Oh, man. Are you kidding me? Seriously, man. Come on, man.
Come on now.
There's a quote that says, "The night is darkest just before the dawn." And when it comes to the story of the Splash Brothers and the rise of the Golden State Warriors, the modern NBA's greatest dynasty, this couldn't be closer to the truth. To fully appreciate and grasp this story, however, let's take a step back in time.
What a story this has been. Underdogs all the way. The Warriors have done it. The Golden State Warriors has just won the NBA championship.
1975 stands out as one of the most remarkable years in Warriors history. Whenever a basketball conversation turns to the greatest NBA Finals upsets, this year consistently emerges. In a stunning display of determination and skill, Rick Barry and his underdog Warriors team reached the 1975 NBA Finals and then swept the Washington Bullets,
Damn.
a powerhouse roster brimming with established stars and led by 2 future Hall of Famers. Against all odds and contrary to expert predictions that the Bullets would easily run through the Warriors, Barry and his team made history. Sadly, that would stand as the Warriors' last golden year for decades.
Yeah, that was a
as
drought.
the team gradually descended into the shadows. Over the years, there were fleeting moments of brilliance, like Sleepy Floyd's 51-point explosion against the 1987 Lakers, arguably the finest Showtime Lakers squad ever assembled, or the early 90s Run TMC era, proclaimed by some as the birth of small ball.
It really was.
However, for
With
the most
what was his name? Don Nelson coaching him. Like that was the prototype.
part, the Warriors remained on the outskirts of championship contention. The We Believe Warriors ignited hope across San Francisco when they became the first 8th-seeded team to topple a number 1 seed since the first round expanded to a best-of-7 series.
Yeah, that was a really fun team to watch.
And what an electrifying show that was.
Davis to go
Baron
one-on-one.
Davis.
Get into the lane.
Here's Davis.
Unfortunately, the We Believe Warriors era was short-lived.
Yeah, it was.
A victim of what many fans lament as the winter of Cohen and the rule of Robert Rowell. The franchise spiraled into despair as they traded away fan favorite Jason Richardson and allowed Baron Davis to simply walk away, casting a shadow over the organization. This turn of events dropped the Warriors from a bright spot on the NBA landscape into the depths of basketball purgatory. It was a bleak period for Warriors fans who endured a disheartening 29-win season in 2009.
Wow.
However, as I mentioned earlier, echoing the adage, the night is the darkest just before the dawn, after the bitter taste of that 29-win season in 2009, a remarkable transformation was on the horizon.
With the 7th pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry from Davidson College.
Oh, you got some booze.
Despite his reluctance to be drafted by the Warriors, refusing to participate in any workouts or visits, Golden State took a big gamble during the 2009 NBA Draft at Madison Square Garden when they selected the 6'3" guard from Davidson, a decision that would become the most transformative in the franchise history.
Yeah, that was a good choice. Damn good choice, because he ended up being one of those rare cats. He's still playing for the same team that drafted him. Can you believe it? Never got any coaches fired. Never caused any controversy. I mean, never blamed his teammates or his coaching staff or anybody for any of his misfortunes. Anytime they lose. And he shares the glory whenever they win. Decent dude.
This is maybe the premier shooter I've ever seen in my life.
Right from the get-go in his rookie year, you could tell Steph was going to be special.
By Morrow again.
Curry three. Oh, no! Curry with a career high 34 and 7 threes. 7 of 10.
70%.
The second most significant moment in Warriors franchise history unfolded just 2 years later, a mere 30-minute drive from Madison Square Garden at the Prudential Center in New Jersey. Here's what happened.
With the 11th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Klay Thompson from Washington State University.
This moment marked the dawn of something extraordinary, something that would not only revolutionize the Warriors franchise, but the entire landscape of basketball.
Klay Thompson. Turn around. Smooth.
At the time, no one could have predicted the magnitude of what was unfolding, not even Steph and Klay themselves. After all, how could they have foreseen it? They barely even spoke to each other back then.
I don't think me and Steph said a word to each other the first year, to be honest.
Despite their initial silence, though, Steph and Klay shared several traits. In their early years, they were both reserved, preferring to let their performance on the court speak volumes. They were never truly alone either. Steph found companionship in family life, marrying in 2011 and surrounding himself with loved ones. Klay, on the other hand, welcomed a loyal English bulldog named Rocco into his life the same year.
Nice.
Always ensuring his best friend was by his side.
You gotta love dogs. Look at that dog. What's up, Pooch?
Yep. I know we don't get to hang out much outside of the practice and games, but you got your dog, I got my family and all that stuff. But
another passion they shared was an insatiable love for shooting the ball. If there was ever one attribute that set these two apart and made them the envy of the league, it was their unparalleled ability to sink baskets from long range. While everyone acknowledges Steph as perhaps the greatest shooter the NBA has ever witnessed, the debate among teammates was a little more nuanced.
So people was like, who's a better shooter, Steph or Klay? And I was like, it depends on if Klay wants to go play with his dog or not.
This pairing of Steph...
I mean, Steph has said it multiple times that Klay has the best looking shooting form he's ever seen.
Something extraordinary.
Easy 2-for-1 opportunity. And there's the freebie. And Steph drops in a three.
This game you're watching happened on December 21st of 2012, and if you're wondering why I'm showing this specific game, it's not just the fact that Curry and Klay combined for 7 out of 11 shots from 3 in just 2 quarters of play, but the fact that this tweet came out at halftime. If you're wondering about the significance of this message, let me enlighten you. This very tweet marked the official birth of the Splash Brothers. From that moment...
Oh, wait. How was it? Oh, hashtag Splash Brothers. Okay.
Very tweet marked the official birth of the Splash Brothers. From that moment forward, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were poised to elevate the Warriors to unprecedented heights. However, before they could reach their apex, they faced a legion of skeptics and doubters.
I have said the exact same thing for 16 years here. I don't like jump shooting teams. I don't think you can win the championship, beat good teams, shoot jumpers.
Up until that point, he was
Steph
right.
and Klay were undeterred by the noise, though. Instead, it fueled them to deliver some of the most incredible performances in NBA history. Consider this. The NBA record for the most three-pointers in a game stood at 12. A feat achieved by Kobe Bryant in 2003 and later equaled by Donyell Marshall in 2005. These records held firmly over a decade until Steph shattered them in 2016 with 13 three-pointers.
13 for 17.
He knows where he is.
As Curry hit another three.
Excuse me.
Then, just when the basketball world thought this record would stand for years, Klay Thompson pushed the boundary even further by sinking 14 three-pointers in 2018.
History. 14 threes in a game. It's never been done. That's time.
Insane.
Among their most mesmerizing performances, the pinnacle of their individual regular season achievements came when they combined for 78 points against Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and the OKC Thunder.
Good Lord.
This overtime spectacle was highlighted by Steph's jaw-dropping shot from near the parking lot, nailed with just fractions of a second left on the clock.
I'm out. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown.
That's insane.
Oh, what a
To win
strip
a game in overtime with that shot.
Curry.
Good Lord.
Their repertoire of historic performances doesn't end there. Klay Thompson's breathtaking 37 points in one quarter, Steph Curry's majestic 54-point masterpiece at the Garden, Klay's explosive 60 points in three quarters against Indiana, and Steph's clutch 50-point performance in a Game 7 victory over Sacramento are all testament to their dominance. Additionally, Klay's pivotal Game 6 against OKC and Steph's commanding Game 4 against Boston further showcase their extraordinary talents and pivotal roles in critical matchups. The catalog of individual achievements by these two stars is so extensive that it could easily fill an entire video, and it's evident that their admiration for each other matches the magnitude of their accomplishments.
What kind of teammate is Klay Thompson?
He's one of a kind. I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but his humility, the way he enjoys life, selflessness.
Turning to Klay, here are his thoughts on Steph.
Well, I've admired Steph long before he was a Warrior. When he was at Davidson, I was a fan. I went and saw him play at the Honda Center in Anaheim against UCLA, and I was amazed by his skill and his ability. And then to be drafted with the Warriors and be his two guard for as long as I have been, it's been nothing short of amazing.
The best regular season in NBA history, foiling LeBron's quest to surpass Michael Jordan in championships and defeating LeBron so badly that it led to his departure from Cleveland, are just a few of the remarkable mountaintops accomplished by the Splash Brothers.
So sorry.
Like I said earlier, no single video could fully encompass all that they have achieved together. The playing style of Steph and Klay set a new standard in the league, becoming the blueprint many teams attempted to replicate over the years. However, they quickly discovered that while imitation is possible, duplicating the unique magic of the Splash Brothers is entirely another matter.
Yeah, for a while I blamed them for how the NBA has become. I stopped doing that though, because it wasn't supposed to be emulated. It wasn't supposed to be duplicated. Unless you had, a young Klay and a young Steph, you shouldn't be trying to play this kind of ball. Because that's the only reason it won. And it had solid defense. So everybody else trying to do this and the NBA becoming what it is, it's not their fault, man. They just did something and it worked, and everybody else is just copycat.
The NBA feels like it's a copycat league nowadays. When the Warriors were on their run, you saw teams across the league trying to mimic that model, didn't necessarily have the personnel to fit that.
Regrettably, every story has its conclusion. And for the Splash Brothers, the signs of an impending end emerged during Game 6 of the 2019 NBA Finals when Klay suffered an ACL tear, a moment that foreshadowed the challenges ahead.
Thompson running the floor, and a foul. And Thompson grabs his left knee.
I swear, the joy of the game, I haven't seen it return to him since this.
Steph Curry was absolutely disgusted with himself for making that pass and wished painstakingly that he could redo that play.
Steph Curry was really saddened, and it had nothing to do with...
I got to see that again. I'm sorry. I didn't... The pass, that is. All right, let me just go back a little bit. Sorry, guys.
Klay suffered an ACL tear, a moment that foreshadowed the challenges ahead.
Thompson running the floor.
Oh, man, that's not your fault, dude. That was a good play. It didn't end well, but it was a good play.
That pass and wished painstakingly that he could redo that play.
Steph Curry was really saddened, and it had nothing to do with losing.
Afterwards, Klay, embodying the true spirit of a Warrior, returned to the court with a torn ACL to sink two crucial free throws, giving the Warriors a glimmer of hope to extend the series to a Game 7. However, fate had other plans, and it simply wasn't meant to be for them that year. After that finals loss came 2020, an anomalous year for the Warriors.
Again, he closed out on the shooting hand side.
Steph Curry with a lot of contact.
After dominating the NBA landscape for half a decade with the Splash Brothers at the helm, injuries sidelined the two legends, and the organization then found themselves at the league's bottom, surrounded by a new assembly of players. I prefer to think of it as a sabbatical, a brief pause in their storied journey. 2021 was anticipated to be the triumphant return of the dynamic duo, but just as Klay recovered from his ACL injury, he suffered a ruptured Achilles, a devastating setback. For Steph, this was a crushing blow.
To get that call was a gut punch for sure. A lot of tears, a lot of, you don't really know what to say because a guy like that having to go through, 2 pretty serious rehabs now.
For Klay, however, the situation was even more heartbreaking. For someone who loves the game deeper than any of us can imagine, being forced to observe from the sidelines proved more agonizing than the injuries themselves. Despite not being able to play, though, Klay seized every opportunity to support his fellow Splash brother and the team.
Steph, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while.
What's up, my guy?
Okay.
2022, however, was set to be a turning point. Klay approached his rehabilitation with meticulous care, even reaching out to Kevin Durant for advice after witnessing the successful comeback his former teammate made from a similar Achilles injury. And it all paid off. On January 9th, 2022, after 942 days, Klay and Steph reunited on the court, once again sharing the hardwood in a moment that was both celebratory and deeply symbolic.
He's back! And now, in his 11th NBA season out of Washington State University, number 11, Klay Thompson!
One of Klay's initial plays, however, not only ignited excitement among Warriors fans globally, but also sent pulses racing.
Thompson, just the 2 points. Exploding to the rim.
That's called adrenaline.
Klay Thompson.
The very thought of Klay dunking again was enough to give everyone a distinct sense of anxiety. Nobody wanted to see him take that risk anymore.
I know.
Steph, however, wasn't bothered. In fact, he was the most animated person in the entire arena, leaping around like a little kid would on Christmas morning. And for him, it truly was like Christmas. I mean, he received a magical gift that money could never buy, the return of his Splash brother.
You know, that's another thing I do like about Steph. He really relishes in other people's success, in his team's success. I see him like being the coolest person on the bench. And if his team is playing well, like he's the biggest cheerleader. It's not all about him.
Regrettably, for Warriors fans, this was not the Klay Thompson of years past. After suffering 2 severe leg injuries and crossing into his 30s, a crossroad that often marks a decline for basketball players, it was evident that Klay was no longer the player he once was. While his sharpshooting skills remained intact, his ability in slicing through defenses off the dribble and his all-NBA defense had diminished.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest part. I've seen his shooting numbers, and his shooting numbers are not too far off base from where they were in his prime pre-injury. But his defense, because his defense doesn't get talked about enough, and he was a hell of a defender before he got injured. And the defense never quite came back. So when he's not giving that out there, it did decrease his value, unfortunately, on the court. But as far as being a shooter, Klay still got it.
Number 11 remained undeterred, pouring every ounce of effort into his game and then some. Take, for instance, the 2022 NBA Finals. After Steph's monumental performance in Game 4, the Chef found himself too drained to replicate that intensity for Game 5. Fortunately, he didn't need to. Klay Thompson, often underappreciated in recent years for his contributions, stepped up significantly in that decisive Game 5, a game where the winner often goes on winning the series over 80% of the time. Klay came through in the clutch in that game, sinking 5 of 11 from beyond the arc, playing a pivotal role in securing the W that set them on the path to championship number 4. The Splash Brothers eventually went on to reclaim their throne atop the NBA world, and although Klay Thompson's abilities had waned from his earlier years, he still played a critical role. This moment in time not only elevated them back to the summit of the basketball world, but also cemented their status as the greatest backcourt in NBA history.
You about to get it back.
Oh no, I remember this.
About to get it back. We about to get it back.
Following that
You're about to
championship
get
victory,
traded.
hefty contracts were in order for the organization, with both fellow teammates Poole and Wiggins securing extensions worth $100 million each. Given their performances during the playoff run, marked by significant game-changing moments from each, it was a reward well-deserved.
I'm sorry. I am still who I am. How is this not a travel? Let me look at it again.
Each. Given their performances during the playoff run, marked by significant game-changing moments.
Explain it. How is that not a travel?
From each, it was a reward well-deserved. Those contracts, however, did not sit well with Thompson, particularly when it came time for his own contract negotiations. In the following years, tensions brewed around Klay. Although the Warriors organization attempted to keep these issues discreet, signs of his frustration were evident on the court.
Yeah, I noticed. He just wasn't not happy anymore. He looked miserable the last couple of seasons out there.
Poor shot selection and a visibly sour demeanor suggested that the team's inability to meet his demands was taking a toll. Klay often tried to shoot his way out of the situation, but unlike in the past, this strategy only seemed to deepen his struggles. In what turned out to be his final appearance in a Warriors uniform during a critical elimination.
Oh, yeah, this is bad. 0 for 10. 0 for 6 threes. Shoot, I can't believe it ended like that.
Game, Thompson went 0 for 10 from the field. This performance made him a target of memes and jokes far and wide. Yet, truthfully, that match...
I have to look at some of these. Hey, young fella, I'm rooting for you. Eat your greens and get proper sleep nightly, and you will make the NBA one day through your hard work and perseverance. That's nice. Sorry, I got some allergies going on today.
The memes and jokes far and wide.
Don't let this distract you from the fact you went 0 for 10. Jeez. Yeah, man. That's why I don't do social media. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's what have you done for me lately? No one's appreciating everything he's accomplished. They just remember 0 for 10 now.
Yet, truthfully, that match was an off day for the entire Warriors team while the Kings played their best game. Even if Klay had managed an elite shooting performance, hitting 70 or 80% of his shots, the outcome would have likely been the same.
Yeah.
The Warriors were destined to lose that game. It simply wasn't written in their story to win in 2024. In the following offseason, the pettiness surrounding the contracts became unbearable for Klay, along with everything else. Relegated to coming off the bench, feeling disrespected by the organization, and perceiving himself as undervalued compared to his teammates, Klay was deeply unsettled. The Warriors' decision to delay re-signing him until the rest of the roster was sorted out was the final straw for number 11. Sometimes in life, a fresh start is what we all need, and the other half of the Splash Brothers was no exception.
I'm just being real. If I was that rich, I would have just said, give me $20 million a year. 15, 20, somewhere in that range. I'll go year to year if you want. Fuck it. Just screw it.
Klay Thompson's 13-year career in Golden State, 4 championships, is now over.
This is the end of something magical in basketball.
But I think it just shows. I think he wanted to leave Golden State. I think he was ready. The body language the last couple of seasons showed it.
A series of heartfelt images shared on social media, Steph Curry opened up about what Klay meant to him. From their early days as new kids on the block, through their rise up the ranks of the NBA, to their apex as champions, Steph held nothing back. He concluded with this: "I'm gonna miss you, Klay Thompson. Even though we won't finish the journey together, what we did will never be done again. Couldn't have imagined a better run with you and Money 23 Green. Change the whole Bay Area, change the way the game is played, kill a Klay at the center of it all. Thank you for everything, bro. Go enjoy playing basketball and doing what you do. Splash Bros for life, my guy."
And that's why I like Steph. People ask me sometimes, why do I like Steph? That's why.
The days of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson sharing the court, the era of the Splash Brothers, may have come to an end, but their achievements and the legacy they've built will resonate in the hearts of basketball fans for eternity.
When I get on the floor and I see number 11 suited up with me, I feel good about our success and our chances to win a game. You make my job easy when I come on the floor. I know hopefully we have a long future together, man.
You see, it's not so hard to share credit, to share success with the people who got you there, who helped get you there. It's not that hard. And Steph does it really well. Jordan did it really well too. And that was my model for, how. And it was amazing when I was a kid. I'd be like, well, you did all the work, Jordan, but I get it now. I get it. I totally understand. He wasn't an asshole. I was a child, so I was thinking differently back then. But, you don't just go out there and take all the damn credit. No matter what, it's a team sport. So you got to share that. You got to share the success with your team, and you got to share that failure with the team. But if you're the leader, you got to take the brunt of it. But you definitely don't go blame shifting people. And then when you do have success, you try to take all the success. I've never been a fan of that mentality in anything in life, not just basketball, not just sports, but in life in general. Oh man, that was a cool documentary. Hoop Reports again, y'all. Like if you guys want to check it out, really good content over there. So head over there, give them a subscribe if you enjoyed this. Yeah, not much to say except for just that was really good. That was really good, and it's crazy to think that the story of those two together is over. But it's going to be really interesting to see the first Golden State versus Dallas game next season. Them as opponents for the very first time. Should be fun. All right, everybody. I'm going to call it a night. I'll see you all in the comments as always. Leave this video a like if you enjoyed it. It helps out a ton. And subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Hit that bell if you want to be notified for the next video tomorrow morning. And just to let you guys know, I appreciate y'all. It's been a lot to get this channel to where it is now. I never would have imagined it would. And there's no way in hell I would have got here without you guys. Some of you have been here since my very first video. It's crazy. It's crazy. So speaking of gratitude, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Let's see how far we go, huh? Until then, let's keep enjoying some videos together. All right. Peace out. Be safe. Have fun. Tell your loved ones you love them. And be gracious to somebody. Be kind to somebody tonight, all right? All right. Peace out, everybody.